Hi all, God is dead, and this is a Jordan Peterson YouTube who Supercut, you sons of bitches. You have ever been seriously defeated by lobsters, you know what that's like. It's a death, a descent into post-lobster stress disorder. You don't have much of a brain. You're like this. I'm small. I'm not, I don't want to fight. Lobsters are dangerous. When a lobster defeats you, your hippocampus shrinks. Right, it dies and shrinks, and then you give the dominant lobster all your serotonin because you just got defeated in a fight by a depressed lobster. Just absolutely unbelievable. And so now what are you going to do? And the answer is you're going to take lobster chemicals so your brain will dissolve, and then you'll grow a lobster brain. Yeah, and so now you think, like the lobster. So you see old human beings as lobsters. So you see graduate students as lobsters. So you see antidepressants as lobsters. You could then inhabit a world that's much more dangerous than the world you inhabited to begin with, a world of lobsters. So these creatures that's worth thinking about too, right? It's the time of lobsters, right? I mean, can relate to that. That's another lesson from the lobster. It's quite a terrifying one. I just figured this out this week. At one point, there was only one book, literally one book, and that book was the first book. It's chronological. In many ways, the first book was the Bible. That's wrong, because the Bible isn't a book. It's an aggregation of lives, but the truth is encoded into the lives, which make the Bible true lives. But it's not exactly that. Really what it is the history of hands moving in low resolution, in some sense, first post-true book. It's a whole different kind of true.
3 hours later.
So, in any case, we were talking about an infestation of postmodernists in a civilization. That's not right. You heard of the internet?
No.
You sample that internet. The problem is that the internet is postmodernist and is dissolving Western culture. You understand that. That's wrong.
No.
Now then you think, now how do you understand the postmodernist internet? You build a low-resolution Bible out of scrolls and stories and on papyrus and listening to fundamentalist talk. And then you see the internet through that. It's a hierarchy of hierarchies.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Can't be any other way. It's the only way we can solve the problem of postmodernist perception, is literally dissolving the human brain through all sorts of technological transformations. Now imagine that, that's an idea.
It's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
No, I would rather spend thousands of years making hateful tweets about LGBT plus breast leading to postmodern Marxist, narcissistic authoritarianists. Because I don't, unfortunately, have a life. A few days ago, I was breaking Rule 34. Trouble was I discovered that the site had been infiltrated by a generated postmodern woke authoritarian moralist who insisted upon fulfilling Rule 34 with sexy Marxist girls with big breasts. The girls' degenerated, medically enhanced post-Marxist breasts caused my member to expand into a vicious hate boner that made it impossible for me to stop masturbating. A vicious and unconscionable culture war fact that resulted in my ejaculation into a handbasket. I must say that I've had some post-coital regrets about that, because that wasn't my favorite handbasket. It is clearly the case that Rule 34 bears moral culpability for that. Come inside my handbasket. Also consider it my duty to warn those who are about to fact that the path they are on leads to subjugation to a tiny fraction of insanely degenerated, transmodern, post-Marxist, post-narcissistic, trans-authoritarian moralists. Is that not a true moral hazard? Because such things matter when the semen starts flying. Rule 34 is a rat hole in the final analysis. Up yours. Rule 34. You sons of bitches. Message to the Orthodox churches. I took a risk. I've been doing number 2 into your incense for the past 4 years because I thought it was funny. That can be easily accounted for as a joker moment. I completed 15 or so for what might be described as an all-out poop assault and attracted, surprisingly, millions of likes. Why? Who cares, you cunt? You cannot stop me, mother. Nanny is there to remind people, first and foremost, that their flesh is welcome here in the utopia of the mass. And here's a message to those skeptical about such things. What else do you have? You can say to yourself, narcissistically and solipsistically, that nanny does not express what I believe properly. Who cares what you believe? So join us. We'll help fix you up, and you can help fix
us up.
Moralists. We'll see who cancels. You're the worst at the moment. You have had ample opportunity to join us, but you have insisted upon remaining outcast, alone, frustrated, angry, and arguably worse, an egocentric, woke, authoritarian moralist. We want to call you to the highest purpose of your life. You should be a monster. We'll put up a billboard. Say, your
Flash
is welcome here. If no one else wants what you have to offer, we do. Invite your biology into us. What else do you have to worship and celebrate properly other than the body of the many? Quit fighting for social justice. Quit saving the bloody planet. Join us. That's your holy duty. Do it now, before it's too late.